Hello everyone, my name is Christian, welcome to my hobby blog. Today we are doing another, not really double feature review, but more like a series review and then a standalone review. So today we're first going to talk about the three XTRO films, XTRO 1 and 2, and XTRO 3, released by Vinegar Syndrome, and then Zombie 5, aka Killing Birds. So first I want to talk about XTRO 1. It's one of my favorite horror films of all time, and it's a really weird alien film. But basically, a son and father are playing baseball. The son throws the baseball really high up in the air, tears the fabric of reality apart, and the father is teleported to another dimension. Maybe a month later. The father comes back, but in the form of a weird alien. Yeah, it's really weird. You can kind of see it there. That guy. It's a really cool alien design, but it's like a weird body horror film, kind of like a David Cronenberg or like a Stuart Gordon film, maybe Brian Usner. But I really like the movie. The effects are nauseating. There's a part where he, as the alien, because that's his first form, infects a woman and gives birth to himself. And there's a scene where the woman is like giving birth to him, and he's like crawling out, and blood and flesh is like shooting out. It's really fucking disgusting. And there's times where he's sucking on people's like shoulders, and when he draws his like mouth away, like all the skin is following like his lips. It's so disgusting. So I loved the first one. The second one is awful. Don't ever watch it. It is really bad. It's a shot-for-shot remake of Alien. It's made by Ridley Scott, I believe. And not the sequel to this, but Alien. But XTRO 2 sucks. Don't watch it. So I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. It's so bad. Think Alien, but low budget and awful. So I'm going to put that over there. So next is XTRO 3. This was going out of print. It was like 50 copies left when I bought this. So in my head I was like, if it's bad, I'll just resell it, make a lot of money. But there's the alien. It has nothing to do with 1, and neither does XTRO 2. They just bought the rights to it, and then were like, we're making a sequel. And that's the only reason anyone went inside, I guess. But number 3 was a little better. It was not as good as 1. 1 is a classic, but this one was just okay. I mean, I have no strong feelings towards any of it. The effects were actually pretty good. The aliens were weird, but there was no functionality of the puppets. They just looked like that. The entire film, they just looked like that. It was like bizarre. The main actors and actresses sucked. They were not good at all. They had no emotional range, no acting range. A bunch of nobodies. It had a lot of action tropes that I hate that revolve around the military. And that's like, first and foremost is the flashback, where you get the intro scene of, washed up soldier who, is driven to alcoholism and drug use. And he's telling a reporter, like, here's what happened. And then it's like the entire movie's a flashback, so this guy's going to survive. So no tension right there. It's a trope I hate, is the flashbacks. But one that's even worse that I hate is the introducing all the military characters. The only movie that did it well is Predator, because it was the first one, and it was subtle, and it really established each character really well. The Native American guy who was good at hunting, the redneck Texan who just liked to blow crap up. You had Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was the reluctant guy. I don't remember his background in the movie. I guess he was a veteran, and he and Carl Weathers were both like buddies, like way back, and they were getting together. I love the characterization in Predator, not in this movie, and every other military film. I think even XTRO 2 had this a bit, where you get that scene where In Predator, it was them in the helicopter. And they have the speaker system, and everyone just reveals who they are. What are their, characteristics, and, so on and so forth. But in this movie, everyone's at a bar getting drunk and acting like total assholes. That's not how you introduce your protagonists at all. None of them were redeemable. They were all awful. One of them, commits sexual assault, immediately. I hate that trope so much. No action movie has ever done it well again after Predator. So, there's that. But I'm trying to think of any other weird tropes that they used in this movie that I hated. I can't really think of any, but this was a very okay movie. If they were better introducing the characters and did not have that stupid flashback thing, this would have been way better. They did not need the flashback. It should have just started with them going to the island where the aliens were, because it is a covered up project. It was an old, nuclear site or whatever during World War II. And that's all it is. They're just like, oh yeah, it's a, place. There's weird stuff happening. We need you to secure the bombs there. And they're like, okay, cool. Why do we need a weapons expert or, a spy and all these different roles, that they're clearly taking from, Predator. And they get there and aliens are there and it's fine. But that's XTRO 3 and XTRO 1 and 2. Next is Killing Birds, otherwise known as Zombie 5. You don't need to watch the first 4 zombie films, because none of them even have anything to do with each other. So, I really like this movie, actually. It has nothing to do with birds that kill, though. It's a giallo film. I was shocked by that, because if you can see the cover, you see a guy getting, eaten alive by birds, and there's an awesome, cloud of ravens and birds and eagles and, all this stuff. And even in, the original cover art, where I guess the movie was called Raptors at some point, it shows a bird killing, but nothing to do with that. It's like a paranormal zombie film where a bunch of students of a local university are researching an about to be extinct bird species. And the last known location is in this weird island. I don't know why all these movies have islands, but they go there. It's in Louisiana or something. Not many islands there, but there is a swamp. But they get there, and there's a lot of weird stuff. We get an awesome intro with some of the sickest kills in the movie, where an army veteran is killing everyone in the building for some reason, in a bungalow, vacation home. And he's just killing people left and right, kidnaps the baby and raises it as his own. But not before a random eagle plucks out his eyeballs, and you see the talons go into a rubber eye that's they filled in a hole with blood and then pushed the eye in and then pulled it out, so blood just flies everywhere. It's awesome, but that's the only bird related death in this entire movie. The rest of the movie is zombies, and our characters just really suck in this movie, and not in a boring way. They just were very ineffectual when it came to surviving. So there were times where they were someone is killing us, and then they would just go split the party. Okay, I guess none of them ever played Dungeons and Dragons, because the first rule of surviving a campaign is to never split up. So they split up. They slowly get killed one by one, and then of course we have, our main dude and babe who survives the movie. One thing that was shocking to me is I really thought this was going to be a real exploitation film, because if you don't know, there's the 3 B's of exploitation cult films is blood, lots of blood in this film, beasts, lots of beasts and birds, but they don't kill anyone, and breasts, not a single scene of nudity. There's a really weird sex scene where people are just kissing and they're like gyrating off camera, because you can kind of see the lower, half of the torso like going up and down. But then like the camera pans out and they have like jeans on, which you can't have sex with jeans on really, unless you have a hole in them, and there were no holes. So that was like the closest, but they weren't even like topless, or there was no even like side boob or anything. So it failed on that regard. If you're looking for a good like cult film, usually they follow the 3 Bs. So I really enjoyed this. Everyone hated this movie, and it's still nowhere near selling out on vinegarsyndrome.com or whatever. So I was very happy to see this, but that's all for today. I again talked about XTRO 1 and 2, XTRO 3, and Killing Birds, otherwise known as Zombie 3. So hope you guys have a good day. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Do all that. And I also have a Discord server where you can come and hang out and talk, and we can talk movies, books, if you're into that, and whatever else. So I hope you guys come and join. Thank you for watching. I hope